Welcome to the Better Business Beat, your go-to source for insights, stories, and conversations that matter to our community. I'm your host, Michelle Mills, and each week we explore topics which impact the way we live, work, and do business here in East Texas. From smart consumer tips and local success stories to practical advice for navigating today's challenges, we are here to keep you informed, empowered, and connected. So whether you're a consumer, business owner, or someone who loves supporting local organizations, this show is your front row seat to the people, trends, and ideas shaping our region. Our guest today on the Better Business Beat has dedicated more than 4 decades to the practice and teaching of martial arts and fitness right here in East Texas. Brandon Jones is the owner of Tyler Kung Fu and Fitness, where he has taught the Chinese martial art of 7-star Mantis Kung Fu and Yang-style Tai Chi since 1996. His teaching has reached far beyond the studio, working with local hospitals, physical therapists, and even co-producing the nationally sold video Tai Chi Forever, which is 8 Steps to Optimal Health, and it is the only medically documented Tai Chi video on the market. Brandon is also passionate about safety and community outreach. He created the Stranger Danger program for children. He has trained safety teams across Smith County, and he has served as a self-defense coach for UT Tyler nursing students. In addition, but that's not all, he has been a frequent voice on TV and radio, sharing practical tips on fitness and personal safety. Through Tyler Kung Fu and Fitness, Brandon has continued to innovate, from early kickboxing classes to introducing rock-steady boxing for individuals battling Parkinson's disease. So please help me welcome Brandon Jones on the show today. Thank you, Brandon, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So glad to have you. So even my husband Jeff and I have taken self-defense classes from you, and he loves the Tai Chi classes that you teach as well. So and you also have a gym, which is great. If you just want to have a good workout, is also a great place to go.
Yep, absolutely.
So just tell us a little bit, I guess, about how you got started and a little bit more about your business.
Sure. So I started doing Kung Fu training, when I was 9 or 10 years old, a long time ago, and just been blessed enough to be able to start the school here in 96. And shortly thereafter, maybe within 8 years or so, I met the Better Business Bureau. I came in with you guys.
Yes.
And been a part ever since then. That's been a blessing. And had the school. We started off with basic self-defense classes, and then we started off in integrating Tai Chi classes, which we'll talk more about, which is fantastic. And then, of course, in 2019, we started our Rock Steady Boxing program. I'm a new affiliate, well, almost new since 19, affiliate with Rock Steady Boxing. And it's a boxing-based workout for people with Parkinson's disease. It's changed my world, and then everybody that has come, I never would have thought it would have been as moving.
That's awesome. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. So that's just an amazing program, and thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
I have several friends that have been recently diagnosed with Parkinson's, so definitely sending them your way.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit. So you were the first full-time martial arts school here in Tyler to offer boxing back in the late 90s.
From what I remember. So if you remember the whole Taibo craze.
Oh my gosh. Oh, flashback.
the Billy Blanks. So when we first opened our school, it was just kind of meant to be. He hit the airways with those infomercials, and I had already been thinking about a program like that, and so he just kind of helped launch it, and everybody was calling. I mean, we were getting, honestly, I remember to this day, we were getting like 15 to 20 calls a day.
Wow.
Wanting the kickboxing. So we started that, doing the fitness kickboxing, and then went into boxing training, not so much where people got in the ring, just for fitness, just a fitness type workout.
That's awesome. And so you've seen a lot of changes over the years. Kind of tell us a little bit about that. And then I'm also curious how the pandemic affected, because the in-person.
True.
Like how has that changed your business, and how did that affect you guys?
Well, thankfully I had at the time a 17-year-old daughter that knew technology and said, "Here's what we're going to do, Dad." So we put everything out on Zoom, and I started teaching classes remotely. And that worked.
Awesome, yeah.
It does work, but of course we all miss a social interaction, especially my Rock Steady folks, is they need that social interaction.
Sure.
So they were very excited that we got back open again pretty quickly. I mean, here in
Yeah.
Texas, we were lucky to not be shut down for too long. So it did affect us. We lost about 50% of our business, but over the years, we've been blessed to build it back up,
Well, and
even
you've
get stronger.
innovated too. So you had your daughter help you with the technology.
Oh
You did,
yeah.
and you adapted with the online
Yeah,
classes.
we started doing a lot of online classes, started
Yeah,
doing a lot of workouts on our YouTube channel to where people could go and work out on that. I mean, we did everything we could to,
absolutely. We
to
had to
help.
do the same thing in our office
Yeah,
too. You adapt because you don't want to just like fade away, right?
disappear. That's
So
right.
exactly, and that was temporary. So that's awesome that you guys were able to do
Yeah.
that. You probably learned a lot of things in that season as well.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's nothing like, you can't really see somebody's form if they're not
That's
right there with you. So,
that's true.
yeah.
That is true.
so, so let's talk about you have lots of programs for kids, and now I took martial arts when I was, gosh, how old was I? I think I started when I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I did taekwondo, but I got to be a blue belt.
Yeah.
So, um, but uh, but I will, a very shy little girl, and I will tell you,
Who would have thought that?
it really, it really helped bring me out of my shell.
Yeah.
It instilled so much confidence in me. Tell me a little bit more about your programs for kids and how it helps develop that discipline and focus in
It,
children.
you're a perfect example. I mean, that's how it happens. A lot of times you take a more introverted child and you give them these skills and they realize, wow, I have something that could help me. And then they may not even be able to process it, but suddenly they're blooming more
Hmm.
in their attitude and they have a better attitude. And we've been blessed to help a lot of kids who are from single parent families who come in and have a lot going against them maybe in the home world, but the school is their safe haven. And that's why I encourage martial arts of any kind. Of course, we want people to train with us, but I mean, if go where you can. We want you to, if you have children who you want to get more active that may not be interested in sports or something like that, martial arts is the perfect place to give them self-confidence, self-esteem, self-discipline. I mean, it sounds like a cure-all, and it does give a lot to kids that really give them the confidence to carry over in other areas of their life.
It's a great way for them to be social too, and
Oh, yes.
I'm 4'11", so I'm not a large person, and so it was easy for me to kind of like hide
Of course.
and but I will and it would have been very easy for me to be a very timid child, which I was
Right.
back in the day. But yeah, it really really helped with my confidence, and just and kids stay with that for we did it for years. So
As long
kids,
as they like it, they stay
yeah.
with it. And then the friendship, like you mentioned,
Mm.
Michelle, is actually a big part of it. A lot of the kids that we've had, I mean, I have some of the kids that are working for me now, helping teach classes, who are now 19. They started me with when they were 4.
Love it.
So they've been friends all that time. And of course, I met my best friend growing up, and we remained friends
Mm.
the whole time. So it's been a blessing. But the what we teach with the kids is what we call stranger danger. That's kind of a catch-all for a lot of folks. But
Yeah.
not only do we teach them about stranger, we teach them about their space, who's supposed to be in their space. You don't let anybody in your space unless they're invited. And so we talk to them about the potential of people getting in their space. We talk about them, put their palm out, say, back off, leave me alone. We tell them voice first, then action.
Good. Yeah.
That's how we do that with kids.
Yeah. So that you don't want them to be. It's not a program to create bullies. In fact, it's just the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
You realize you have a skill and you can protect yourself and your friends and your family, and that's what you do. And we teach them every scenario to before physical.
So, what age? You said some of your kids started at 4. So tell me how the
Ye-
classes work, and
Yeah, so that's a fun challenge. So we
I
we
can just picture. But there's so many great videos I've seen of little kids
yeah,
doing martial arts. Like,
but I do an assessment. I have
okay, okay,
if the child is almost 4, we bring the parent in and we do an assessment because I mean I have to be true to the parent and to us. If the child's not ready, I'll tell them they're not ready. You just it's too much of a distraction. So, but
okay,
if they can handle the 30-minute class, and I can pick it up in about 3 or 4 seconds if they'll be able to do it, and
okay.
then they do the 30-minute class, and then as they get older, the classes get longer, and of course they learn more. But when they're little like that, we just teach them. how to balance, how to do the basic blocks, the punches, the kicks, but it's all about run and it's all about, and this is so funny. I'll ask them, okay, tell me your mommy's name. And they all go, mommy. And I'm like, okay, okay. So we got to
Well, it's
learn mom's
true.
name because if you get lost in the store, and then we teach them to look for people with name tags on their shirt because that lets them know they work there. And
That's
yeah, we
great.
really teach them some practical things because, I mean, it happens. The mom's looking at something and the kid darts off and then suddenly he's on the other aisle. So we teach
Yeah.
them how to navigate their way back to the front of the store as well as yell and scream and do whatever they
You,
can do.
that is such an important skill for that's a great these are great lessons that you're teaching little ones because we hear all the like the human trafficking and things like that that even happen
Oh
here in
yeah.
East Texas, which is
It's
so
very scary.
frightening. So for you
Terrifying.
teaching them these skills is so invaluable.
Yes, it's terrifying. And then from there we go, we do a lot of lady self-defense. I know we did one for you guys years ago,
We did.
and
It was a
that's
fun
another
that was a funny
passion.
experience for me
Yeah,
because
it's just very
well,
practical, and it's a passion for me because I have two daughters. Obviously,
yeah.
I have a wife, and you just want them to be safe, and a lot of it is deterrence. So we teach them what to look for, how to be very, very observant, because if you can see it coming, a lot of times you can get out of the situation.
Sure. Yeah. So I don't know if you remember when Jeff and I were taking the class, I make sound effects. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
yeah,
So every time we would be punching at each other or whatever, I had to make noise like pow pow. I don't remember
and
the
that's
noise I
good.
made, but
That's
is
good
it good?
because yeah, because it gets that
Okay.
energy up. And in the karate they call it a kia. Kung
Okay.
fu's a little different, but it's that you get that force with that palm strike you because it adds to that adrenaline and it
Uh,
makes the person know that you're serious. And I tell people all the time, Michelle, it's like the animal kingdom. Okay. The lion is watching for that lone deer that's
mm-hmm.
wounded, that's by themselves, and the bad guys do the same thing. They want to look
Yep.
at a woman walking, looking at her phone, not paying attention to what's going around her. They wait for you to, a lot of times, especially here in Texas, people will get in their car, have the windows down when they first get in to let the heat out.
Oh
And
yeah.
so they watch for that. And we just tell them some practical things. Get in your car. Yeah, it's hot, but get in your car, lock it immediately, start it up, crank the AC up on high.
That's right.
Then you can look at your phone, but don't sit there without your door locked.
In this day and age, we have to be so careful.
Yes.
And so those skills are so. I mean, everybody needs to learn those skills. If you have a team, it's not just females either, right? I
No,
mean,
no.
it's really anybody can use these skills.
Yeah.
You've even come to our office and done some self
Oh
defense
yeah.
classes.
Yeah. We do a
So
lot of corporate self
yeah,
defense, and unfortunately, with the shootings and things, there's a lot of
I
things you need to do in your
yes,
office, and we've done a lot of that. I've been on safety teams and do a lot of that type of training too.
yeah,
And but if you have these skills, you feel a lot more confident. You do become more alert
sure,
and more observant, which will cut down on a lot of situations because you're
yeah,
not that unexpected,
right.
victim.
Well, and with the holidays coming up, it's a good time if you've got a
Yeah.
team that is it's great for team building. That's what we use it for. But
Yep.
so you're doing team building, and you're teaching some really important lessons to
Yes.
your staff.
And
So
what's interesting is holidays, the bad guys go shopping too. So, and
yep,
what I mean by that is they're looking around. They know it's going to be busy. They know you're going to not be paying attention. And, this is simple, but a lot of times we forget the simple things. If you
hmm
do go shopping this holiday season, don't just throw your stuff in the front seat and, lock your car because people will see what's there. They'll bust your window out.
right,
Put it in the trunk, cover it up. It sounds simple, but you got to do what you can
hmm
and then pay attention around you,
hmm
and try
yeah,
not to go shopping alone if possible.
exactly, and at night. I mean,
And
because
yeah,
visibility is so low. So
yeah, it gets dark, right after 5, and it gets really
yeah,
dark. So try your best. It's very difficult, I know, in the holidays because you get off work, you got to go do that last minute
sure.
shopping. But at least try to go where it's well lit. Try to go where it's crowded. Try to
Park
go,
near a light at the very least,
yeah,
and all of that. But
do your
having
best.
these skills to be able to defend yourself, I mean, is
That
so
helps.
important.
That helps. And we talk about yelling and screaming. And you see a lot of videos out where this guy's trying to pull a woman and she's screaming and yelling. And that's so important because you get everybody else's attention around you and they
Yep,
want you to be quiet
that's right.
and to pull you in. So just scream, yell. We teach the palm strike, hit it because you're not going to break your hand. You're going to hit in the face. I don't care what you have to do. You fight and just because again, the bad guy doesn't want a difficult victim. He wants somebody easy.
Correct. Yeah.
And you want to put up the fight. And we teach the kids that too.
That's so good.
Hmm.
So good. Yeah. Parents and, really everybody needs to learn some self-defense
Oh, yeah.
techniques.
And people
for
ask me all the
sure.
time, should I carry a weapon? Should I have mace? All that. Of course, do what you can, but make sure you're trained in it.
I
Just
mean,
because you have it doesn't mean you can use it.
yeah, because what if the attacker,
They can
is
get it
able to
from
get
you.
it from you? So you
Yeah.
really do need to
You
know how
really
to
need
use
to
those
seek
things.
out professional training if you
Yeah.
want to carry any kind of tool. And then, of course,
Definitely.
with just your body as well.
Definitely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about your Rock Steady Boxing for Parkinson's
Yes.
program. It's a really unique program. Tell us a little bit about it, how you got started, and maybe where you conduct the classes, or if somebody wants to join, how would they go about doing that?
Sure. So it's called Rock Steady Boxing, and you can just .org, I believe, and it's an affiliation, and it goes a lot along with the Michael J. Fox Foundation because he does
Awesome.
a lot with Parkinson's, and of course, huge proponent in their research. So Rock Steady, they've done studies that started in '09 in Indianapolis, and they've done studies to where it shows the intense boxing, the repetitive movements helps them create new neural pathways. Because, see, the dopamine has quit
Oh,
working in their body.
okay.
And so it doesn't take the signal from the brain, hey, arm, I need you to move. It doesn't give that signal. So with Rock Steady, what we're doing is we're teaching them, okay, move this arm, move this arm, move this arm, now do a hook. And these multiple scenarios gets their brains working in a different way. It's amazing. And then
Wow.
the intensity of the workout gets their mobility back, their flexibility, their strength, and then their bodies start drawing in like this. So we do
Yeah.
a lot of open postures where we keep them to
Ah.
stand upright so that they can walk. I wish I could say it makes Parkinson's go away. It does not, but I
Yeah.
tell everybody it's like this is you,
Mhm.
okay, and here's Parkinson's, and I want you to run ahead of it a little bit just to keep your quality of life during that. And now, you don't box anybody. You don't get hit, but you hit bags and you hit speed
Okay.
bags, and it helps with the hand and eye coordination and fine motor skills. It's so debilitating, such a debilitating disease, and
Yeah.
we're really fighting back. And I've just seen it change people's lives. I had a client tell me just the other day how she felt like she got her old life back just doing the
Okay.
classes.
I was going to ask you, can you tell us like a story or like
Oh,
an example of somebody
it's
who's,
it's unbelievable. I have
yeah.
people that tell me all the time. I had one woman share with me. She said, "You gave me my husband back." Well, I
Ah,
didn't do it, but the program did,
right.
and that is so huge. And their cognitive abilities. We do a lot of brain exercises. Their speech gets very, very quiet. We teach them to use the loud voices and use their vocal cords. So it
Wow.
attacks in so many ways, and we'll have them count out their punches and their postures, their strength. We have them practice getting up and down off the floor
Wow.
because Parkinson's, you fall a lot. You do.
Yeah.
And we help you. I teach you how to fall, how to get up, how to roll. And we've had clients who are terrified to get on the floor.
Mm.
But after 3 or 4 weeks, they're on the floor, they're up and down,
Okay.
and it's changed their life. It's just, gosh, Michelle, there's too many to tell you
Oh, I
the
just love
successes.
that. That's so good.
It's
So where do you teach these classes, and how often does somebody attend?
So we have classes 3 days a week that they can choose
Okay.
from. Some folks come to 1, 2, or 3. It depends on what your schedule
Oh,
allows.
okay.
And we do it at our studio, and we do it on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And if you go to the national website, just Rock Steady Boxing, it'll it says click for classes in your area, and we're attached to that website.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest way to remember it. If you
Yeah.
can't remember the name of our business, then we have classes there. And then we do an assessment. I want you to come meet the boxers. A lot of folks, particularly the men, I'm not picking on the guys, but they do. They go, I don't need that. Yes, you do. So we have them come and meet and watch the other boxers. That is so huge because they see everybody have the same disease they have,
Right.
and they're fighting the same battle. And then not only is it good for the boxers, it's good for the spouse and the caregiver because now you're around all these other caregivers and they can share their stories of what's worked in their family, what hasn't worked. So you're really benefiting. I mean, it's bigger than I ever would have thought.
Yeah, when somebody's going through something like that, it's so important to have community,
Hmm.
both for the people who have the disease, but also for the caregivers,
Oh
because that can
yes,
be,
it's so isolating,
it
and
really is,
so they feel like that they're the only ones in the world
right.
weighing down, and so it's just such a liberating thing. And
Yeah.
you get around all these people, and everybody cheers you on, and you go at your own level. And we
Yeah.
break the classes down. We have, if you're an
Okay.
early diagnosed, you're still working perhaps,
Hmm.
you're still very, very functional. The disease is new. We have special classes for folks that are just getting diagnosed and trying to get through that whole process of I have this disease.
Okay.
And then we have the more advanced type classes where you're further along in the disease and maybe more of a challenge.
So, how far along, I mean, how can somebody join at any stage or of the
Yes.
disease pretty much?
Yes, I
Okay.
have people, they get diagnosed on a Monday, they're with us on Wednesday. I mean, the
Okay.
faster you get in, you
Okay.
stay on top of
But
it.
like, let's say somebody didn't know about the
Sure.
program and they've had the disease for a while and they have some limitations. At what point
Y-
they should just come in and get it
Yeah, you just come in
evaluated by
and do
you?
it. You just do it. I'm
Just
not going to
okay,
turn you away.
right?
We're going to try to
Because it will
help you.
help,
Yeah,
right? I
it's
mean,
going to help. I've got
okay,
people in wheelchairs that come. I've got people
okay,
in walkers that come,
yeah,
and you just meet them where they are. And then hopefully you get them past that. I mean, the young man I had in the wheelchair, he was in the wheelchair within 6 weeks. This is not for everybody, but within 6 weeks, he
yeah.
was able to stand up
Ow,
and move a little bit out
yeah,
of the wheelchair and do some of the boxing with his upper body. So
that's
it's
fantastic.
phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It,
That's
it really
amazing.
is.
I'd love to see video or even come watch a class sometime.
Yeah, I'll send you some video
Yeah,
because we do some testimonials and we show them in
yeah.
action, and I mean we slam big medicine balls, and who would have thought? I've got
Oh,
year old women picking up medicine balls and slamming them and hitting bags, and
so good.
it's awesome. So it
Man,
was a way I discovered it through some doctor friends of
yeah.
mine. Told me about the program. I started studying it and went to a trade show and met with them, and then just became affiliate back in 2019.
So do you teach? I know that you work with the hospitals and a lot of medical professionals. Do you teach classes? I know. Did you used to, or do you still teach classes in the hospitals? And
No, so I
okay,
was with UT for 23 years,
okay.
which used to be ETMC.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, and
okay,
then so when I started the Rocksteady, I still stayed at the hospital a few years and then left so I
okay.
could really pursue building up the Rocksteady at my place and not be split everywhere.
Right.
So yes,
Okay.
do that program there at the school and
Okay.
just get the people in
You're
and
probably spread too thin to be able to go and travel to do these classes anywhere else.
it's tough. Yeah, it's
Okay.
tough. We have a few places that will go and do a satellite situation, but that's usually like a one time a month deal.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just difficult to do.
So if somebody is in an assisted living facility
Hmm.
and they want to get you to come out,
They would need to
um,
give us a call,
like
and
once a
we
month or
do. We
whatever.
have a good relationship with a few of the assisted livings in
Yeah.
town, and we do that. So they
Okay.
would need to call. And by the way, I do a lot of we call personal training for Rocksteady as well. I have a few people that are still in the work world and they can't make the classes.
Hmm.
We do have some personal sessions that they could do as well.
Okay.
So we do offer that.
That's great. So do you do personal sessions for Rocksteady? Do you do personal sessions for any of your other
Oh
programs?
yeah, we
Okay.
do. We spend a lot of time during the day helping people learn self-defense. And what's cool is, you and Jeff know, is you guys train and you're getting a pretty good little workout while you're
Yeah,
learning a skill. So,
definitely. Yeah.
so it's good.
Yeah. You don't want to mess with me or my
That's
husband.
right. That's exactly right.
All right. So the other thing that we really love about Tyler Kung Fu and Fitness is the Tai Chi program. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
Yeah, so Tai Chi is super huge. You can't pick up any article now and read about wellness and longevity without mentioning Tai Chi.
Mm,
And yoga is a
true.
big proponent of that too. And I tell everybody all the time, they go, "Well, what's the difference?" I love them both, honestly.
Same.
But with yoga, if you're not comfortable getting up and down on the floor, then I would suggest do Tai Chi. If being on the floor doesn't bother you, heck, do yoga, do both. So Tai Chi is known for very, very gentle movements. It's very easy on the joints. It helps with stress release. It helps with your lung capacity, being able to improve that lung capacity, breath. Helps with the leg strength. Helps with your balance, which is huge, as we mentioned falls earlier. The older we
Yes.
get, the less flexible you get, you lose muscle tone, and you lose your balance.
Well,
Guess what? Tai Chi does it all.
so many people die because from a fall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
That
they don't have
fall
the
puts them in a
strength.
downward spiral.
Yeah, so getting used to being down and getting up is
Yes.
something
And
that's,
it's not just, I'm not just,
yeah.
making this stuff up. You can look it up. There's so many medical studies out there that have proven the benefits of Tai Chi and balance. So that is amazing. So as we get older in America, I've got a lot of folks. Back in '96, when I opened, Michelle, I would say, I'd be speaking and I'd say, who's heard of Tai Chi? Most people had not heard of it. Now everybody's heard of it. So it's getting more popular because the medical world is embracing it now and saying, hey, this is what you need to do.
Yeah, well, and in China, it is just a part of their day. I
Yes.
was in Hong Kong several years ago, and I was in the hotel, and I looked down,
Yep.
and on the tennis court, probably 50, 60 people on the
Yeah.
tennis court, and they're all doing. It's so beautiful,
It
but
is.
they're all ages, and they're doing it, and it's self-defense, but it's also just it's movement.
It's movement, and like motion is lotion. So you have to
Yes.
move. You're like, oh, I don't feel like moving. But look, I will tell you this. So I had to have a surgery on my hip due to an injury several years ago. So I continued to do Tai Chi before pre-surgery, and then I did it post-surgery. I still did rehab, but
Okay.
in conjunction with that. And so I'm telling those of you that are thinking about Tai Chi, will it hurt me? It is so fantastic. Even if you feel like you can't move, you have to move. It's like breaking the ice off of your muscles.
Yeah, I had surgery earlier this year, and it was so hard for me I lost muscle mass because I couldn't really move, but I probably could have done Tai Chi.
Yeah, we do chair Tai Chi,
Oh,
sitting.
I should have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so something to keep in mind next time. Hopefully, I won't have any more surgeries. But if you do, it's something you should probably try. So if somebody wants to get to try Kung Fu or Tai Chi or Rocksteady boxing, should be something? What's their first step?
First step is find a school. Find a school that you feel comfortable. Look around. Of course, we'd love to have you at Tyler Kung Fu, but if it's not in your area and you want to just search it out, I tell everybody to go to the school that makes them feel comfortable, that's clean, and that they trust. That's the first goal.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story and the history of your business. And we're just so glad to have you here in East Texas
Thanks
community.
for having me.
Your passion for health and community has been a great example of how trusted businesses make a real difference in people's lives. So thank you for being
so much.
here.